In 2016, Tesla showcased that the car driving without the driver touching the wheel. Not only that, but they specifically pointed out that the driver is there only for legal reasons and not to do anything. But now in 2023, when I go to their YouTube channel and look for the same video, I can't find it. The only thing I can find is 4 years ago in 2019. When I click on it, the message at the start is missing. That is strange, isn't it? But since I like to research things and I don't take things at face value, I went and bought Elon Musk's book. And I bought the book just to see what was going on, if I can find anything. What I found out in the book you won't believe, cause they actually talk about Autonomy Day in detail. So I recorded directly from the book why they did this.
In March 2019, he re-entered crisis drama mode. "We have to raise money or we're fucked," he said to Grimes one dawn. He needed to come up with a grand idea that would turn the narrative around and convince investors that Tesla would become the world's most valuable car company. One night he left the light on and just stared into space silently. Every couple hours I would wake up and he was just still sitting there in the thinking man statue pose, just completely silent on the edge of the bed, Grimes said. When she woke up that morning, he said to her, "I solved it." The solution, he explained, was for Tesla to host an Autonomy Day, where investors would get a demonstration of how Tesla was building a car that could drive itself.
If you buy a car that does not have the hardware necessary for full self-driving, it is like buying a horse. And the only car that has the hardware necessary for full self-driving is a Tesla. It's basically crazy to buy any other car than a Tesla.
So let's fast forward to today, 2023. This is the newest news story.
Well, now it appears that the video was a sham. The video begins with the tagline, "The person in the driver's seat is only there for legal reasons. He is not doing anything. The car is driving itself." But according to a Tesla engineer's testimony, the car used 3D mapping on a predetermined route from a Californian house to Tesla's then headquarters in Palo Alto. The engineer revealed that during filming, the drivers had to intervene in test runs, and when trying to show that the Model X could park by itself, the car actually crashed into a fence. When Tesla released the video, Musk tweeted, "Tesla drives itself with no human input at all through urban streets to highway to streets, then finds a parking spot." Well, 7 years later, and it seems like we're no closer to fully autonomous driving.
And this is, ladies and gentlemen, called fraud. They basically lied to all of us. Same thing as they did with Solar City. This is where Elon Musk is going for a long time.
Nevertheless, Musk concluded that the best way to raise more funding was to hold a dramatic demonstration showing that autonomous vehicles were the way that the company would become phenomenally profitable. He was convinced that his team could put on a demo, even show off a credible prototype of what the future would be. He set a marker for 4 weeks away. On April 22, 2019, they would demonstrate a version of a partially self-driving car for what would be Tesla's first Autonomy Day. "We have to show people this is real," he said, even though it wasn't yet.
Did you hear what he just said? We have to show people this is real, even though it's not.
"We have to show people this is real," he said, even though it wasn't yet.
So let's check in 2023 what Elon Musk lies got us.
As this 2019 Tesla Model X driving in autopilot mode strikes their vehicles at 54 miles per hour, injuring 5 officers and hospitalizing the subject of the original traffic stop.
Roll up. Federal investigators say they forced Tesla out of a probe of a deadly crash in California. A driver using the electric car maker's autopilot system died after crashing into a highway barrier last month.
Tesla, believed to be on autopilot, started braking, causing an 8-car pileup on Thanksgiving. You can see in the video from California Highway Patrol that traffic was moving well just after 12:30 in the afternoon. Then, a white Tesla put on its left blinker, moves into the left lane, and stops, causing the car behind it to crash into it, followed by 6 more cars. One vehicle even gets pushed up against the wall of the bridge. According to CHP, the driver of the Tesla was in full self-driving mode. One industry expert says he wasn't surprised by what happened.
Figured that most likely it was something related to phantom braking, which is a very common problem with Teslas. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has been investigating phantom braking incidents on Teslas for quite some time.
And this is the latest video from 2023. So you're driving down a 50,000 euros car and this happens. How many people have his cars injured or killed? But Elon Musk doesn't give a shit because he has no empathy.
And Musk very much has a lack of empathy.
Video was released showing a Tesla Model 3 barreling straight into a completely stationary overturned semi-truck.
Tesla claimed in 2019 that they cared very much about pedestrians and they worked hard on it.
So as a real example, we have the ability to detect a pedestrian. That's something we trained very, very carefully on and put a lot of work into.
This is a crash test in 2023. Boom! That's one kid down, a few billion kids to go. Let's take a reminder from the book why they came up with full self-driving.
In March
again.
2019, he re-entered crisis drama mode. "We have to raise money or we're fucked," he said to Grimes one dawn. He needed to come up with a grand idea that would turn the narrative around.
Elon is such a nice guy that he even programmed that the FSD disengages before a crash, so he can hide his lies. What more insanely dumb stuff has he said? Well...
If you say, what would be the probable gross profit from a single Robotaxi? We think probably something on the order of $30,000 per year.
He thought that Robotaxi would be making $30,000 a year of profit. 30,000? That's how much the Tesla Model 3 costs.
If you say, what would be the probable gross profit from a single Robotaxi? We think probably something on the order of $30,000 per year.
Basically, this means that Tesla invented a money printing machine. They would never sell this to these customers. Just imagine making 100% of the profits per year. I mean, that would be like the greatest thing ever. This is 10 times better returns than Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, who manages to make almost 10% per year, which is the best ever in the history of the world. And this car was supposed to do 10 times what Warren Buffett was doing? Oh, come on. Do you know Bernie Madoff? He also promised 10% returns to investors. And it was the biggest scam of all time. But that's not high enough for Mr. Musk. 100% returns per year. So let's take the money he bought Twitter for, 44 billion, and instead of that buy Teslas, which are 30,000 per year. That will turn out 1,466,666 cars. So we take all our Teslas and we multiply it with 30,000. So our Tesla fleet will be making almost $44 billion per year. So instead of doing this, Elon Musk bought Twitter. So now we have 44 billion in profits per year. Amazing, right? You can take your 44 billion per year and reinvest it, do the same thing every year, and you would own the whole world due to compounding interest. This is ridiculous. The only thing we need to do is buy 1 million of these and tell Warren Buffett to move over, because real investors are here. Warren, all of that stuff with 10% returns, that's nothing. We're gonna do 100% per year. You're too old, you don't get it, Warren. This is the new kind of investing. Hey Warren, show me the money. If you like my YouTube channel, you can support me on Patreon, because I'm losing more money than Elon Musk making these videos. And I apologize for my voice. I'm sick, but I'm still making videos.
Again, we were told that's impossible. I was called a fraud and a liar. It was not going to happen. This is all untrue. Okay, famous last words. I said we'd do them. We did it. Said we'd do it. We did it. We're going to do the Robotaxi thing too. Only criticism, and it's a fair one, and sometimes I'm not on time.